Schrader from Altered Story, and today I am wondering if you have ever had that gnawing feeling that you should try to fit into society, who tells you that you need to pick one thing and go with it. Why in the world are you doing all these different things? From the time that we are children, we are asked the question, what do you want to be when you grow up, right? Put in the comments if you remember, what would you tell people way back when you were a kid to let them know, what do you want to be when you grow up? I would love to hear that. Before I talk more about that, I'm going to wait for you guys to comment if you can. When I was a little girl, I would answer things like ballerina when I was really little. When I got a little bit older, I wanted to be a gymnast like Mary Lou Retton. I had an awkward phase where I wanted to be a clown. Not too proud of that one. Hi, ladies. Thank you so much for joining me. We're talking about that gnawing feeling of when you want to do a variety of things, but society and culture and everybody is telling you should just probably stick to one thing. And that creates a lot of tension and anxiety. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. So if you remember, when you grew up, what did you want to be when you grew up? If you can put that in the comments, that would be awesome. The reason I'm sharing about this today is because I just had the privilege of speaking with a friend that I've had from many, many years ago, kind of a friend of friends. So I don't know her that well, but we had reconnected online and suggested that we just chat on Zoom just to catch up again. And during our conversation, I don't know about how she feels, but like for me, it was like sparks were going off. The chemistry was there. We were connecting, and it was all about this idea that, lady, you were not just made for one purpose. You were made for many purposes. And the thing that tells us that we need to choose just one and run with it can be so stifling to some of us. Now, there is a small percentage of people that consider themselves, once they know the term, to be multi-potentialites. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. I hope that you'll enjoy this discussion. Thanks for sharing, ladies. Hairdresser, an architect, and a baker. Okay, we might have a multi-potentialite here. I wanted to be a singer and a hairstylist. Thank you, ladies. Hi, Natalie loves Jason. Good to see you, girls. So glad to have you joining me again for lunch today. I'm going to admit I already ate a donut because I'm a little off on my schedule today. Whatever you guys are eating or will eat for lunch, I hope it's healthier than my choice today. But thank you so much for joining me. Just to go back to that, what do you want to be when you grow up? I think that's what we first have to dispel. Because as a Christian woman, I really, truly believe that God already says who you are as a person. You are a child of God. You are a daughter of the King. That is who you are. And there's an entire list in the Bible of character qualities and things that make up who you are just because he created you, because he loved you, because he sent Jesus, his son, to die for you. There's a host of things that you already are. And it does not matter if you did one little thing today or nothing at all, or if you are just like the biggest world changer in the world, you are still a daughter of the King, loved by God. And so if nothing else, walk away with that, lady, because who do you want to be when you grow up? I don't know if you grew up knowing about Jesus. I sure didn't. But now I am so thankful that I get to be his friend and be his daughter and be just a Christian, to be able to get to know him and have a living relationship with God. So number one, who cares what little kids want to be when they grow up? God already says who you are going to be. But the real problem with this whole thing is really about what we want to do. So that's totally relevant. And that's what I'm here today to talk to you about. Yes, thank you. Such a beautiful reminder. So good. I'm glad you're encouraged by that. Thank you so much. So back to this conversation I had with my friend as we were talking and fireworks were going off between us because light bulbs were going off. I asked her to share with me, like, how does that feeling feel? And she said that it feels like it's a gnawing feeling, that when she wakes up in the morning, she feels that pressure and expectation to pick one thing. And it's almost like a self-hatred. She says she feels that feeling of being inadequate before she even starts her day. Now, I don't know if you felt like that. Like maybe you're just not living up to what you think you should be living up to. Maybe you should be something more, do something more. I know for me, I have struggled with this. I call it a healthy discontent because I think God allows us to have a discontent if he is ready to move us into something new. If he has a new season for us, if he has a transition for us, I really think he can allow things in our life that cause a healthy discontent that make us ready and eager to change and ready and eager to move forward. However, we don't want to have that feeling of being inadequate. We don't want to be weighed down with that feeling every day like you're just not quite measuring up. And I don't think God wants us there. I think that if we can own that identity first of who we are, and we can realize that he loves you no matter what you do, it's just going to start you off better every single day. But beyond that, here's my life message, ladies. If you do not get anything else, get this today. That you are not created just for one divine destiny, that you are going to potentially miss out on that special moment that God put you on earth for, to be with that other person that he meant for you to really impact their life in that special place. And if you choose not to get on a certain plane somewhere or into a car, or you decide to sleep in that day, you have just missed out on your divine destiny. That's ridiculous. Because God has made you to live every single day abundantly. He has a full life for you. So he has many plans for you. So I want you to just be like, the sky is the limit for today, Lord. I am open to whatever you have for me. I am going to trust that you're going to walk me into every single one of your purposes today. And you know what? There's going to be days you don't even realize that you were used by God, that you were. So don't go off of feelings. Don't go off of, I see the results of what I did today, because you don't have a heavenly perspective. Let's just be honest. Only God can know all the ways that you have impacted a life. Okay? So you were made for many purposes. So as I'm talking to my friend the other day, I told her what I'm going to tell you right now. I want you to go and watch a TED Talk. Just Google TED Talk MultiPotentialite, because Emily Wambach, it's blurry right now, but I think that's her name. Anyway, she gave this amazing TED Talk, and she made up the word multi-potentialite. And I listened to that, and I was set free of all of these kinds of anxieties and feelings like, I haven't found my thing. Like for me, I used to think there is one purpose and I have not found it. I don't know where it is, but I know that I didn't experience it yet. And that made me feel so frustrated. And I want to help you ladies move from frustrated to feeling fulfilled on a daily basis. As you realize you were not made for one big special purpose out there. Maybe God has that as one of those purposes, but you were made for so many purposes. You are not going to miss out on anything because God ordains your steps. So trust him that he is going to use you in big and little ways. So I pointed her towards this TED Talk, and that's what I'm going to do for you today. I'm not going to tell you what she said, because she said it so much better. She's like a TED talker, right? But pull up TED Talk MultiPotentialite and watch that. I was just telling another friend today, because if you can go back and check my Instagram stories, and I just did a reel about this topic, I've heard from a number of ladies, and one of them said, she was talking to her grandma, and her grandma, when she was a little girl, told her, God has something special for you. And she looked up to her grandma and she said, what is it? Like, she's eager for this. And the grandma said, I don't know, but it's going to be something very important for the kingdom. And so this friend said, I have been searching my whole life waiting for that special moment that my grandma talked to me about. But when you posted what you did on stories and what I've seen here, are you telling me that maybe I didn't miss it all along? Maybe I've actually experienced those important things that God had for me? I mean, that is such a revelation. It just gives me goosebumps to think about it right now. I want to do that for you. I want to help you just peel off that dark, yucky, feeling less than, feeling like you've been missing out. I want to peel that off of you today, lady. You have not missed it. God has some awesome things ahead for you. And if you look back, he's already done some pretty amazing things. Have you discounted those things because you didn't think they were the thing? It doesn't matter. There's so many things. You are not made for one thing. You are not going to miss out on one thing. You are made for things, lady. And I'm going to say this is not super common, okay? Not everyone feels like this. We live in a culture that's very specialist. Even like if you're in online business, it's all about niche, 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 niche down, or niche, whichever one. If you're fancy, you can say it that way. But you need to niche down. It's the riches are in the niches, and what can you niche down with? And I have bucked the system, ladies, because I don't want to niche down. So for me, I know that I'm a multi-potentialite. Even looking back before I knew what that meant, I went to school for psychology. And a big part of that reason why I got a bachelor's in psychology was because I had no clue what I really wanted to do. And I knew that I could pretty much do anything with that. The reality is that if I apply for the same job as someone else who's never gone to college, I'll probably get it before that person in entry-level position with my bachelor's in psychology. But I do use it on family and friends, and that makes me feel better. So anyway, how are you guys doing? Is any of this resonating with you? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Gloria, military spouse life sure helps me start over and reinvent myself every couple of years. That is so good. You have to be good at that with what she's got going. She said, you need to read Range by David Epstein. Okay, I have never read that. I'm excited for that. One thing that tells you that you very well could be a multi-potentialite is that you aren't afraid to start again. You aren't afraid to reinvent yourself, reinvent your job. Like, I want you to think back, how many jobs have you had in your life? Did you switch jobs a lot? I know for me, when I was a teenager, I switched jobs so much because I was like, I can make more money there. There's more potential there. I'm bored here. I want to do something new. I want to learn something new. If you can relate to that at all, that's a sign that maybe you're a multi-potentialite. Go watch that TED Talk about multi-potentialites. So there are some good things about being a multi-potentialite. I know that it can feel like maybe you're not fitting in. You don't have that specialty that everyone thinks you should have. You're more of a generalist, let's say. You're able to use your skills in different ways and do things other people can't do because you're able to take from here, take from there. What did I learn way back years ago? I'm going to apply that to my situation today. And you're able to do things that not everybody can do. And that makes you special. And so I don't ever want you to feel bad because you haven't yet found your thing. Lady, you've got things, okay? You've got all the things, as they say. You, my friend, are going to be such a blessing to people in every situation you go into because you're going to have something special to offer them that not everyone else would, because you have like a huge bag full of gifts and tools and talents that you're able to offer. And so I want you to be encouraged today. I have not even dove into like the scientific keywords because that isn't me. So go watch the TED Talk. You're going to find out that you have a gift with idea synthesis, rapid learning, and adaptability. And I'll talk more about those in the future, but go check it out, please. And if you think you're a multi-potentialite and you want to talk and have fireworks with me, like I just want to talk with you and get to know you better and hear about how your experience with this has been of not being able to find your niche, not being able to find what you need to specify in, just because you continue to be like, there might be something different for me out there. There might be something better for me over that hill. And I kind of want to keep my options open. If you can relate to that at all, lady, you just might be a multi-potentialite. I'm so glad that you could join me here for lunch today. And please reach out to me if any of this resonates. I love you, ladies. I hope you eat something yummy. And I will catch you here next week, Thursday, 11:30 Central Time every week. But if you need to catch the replay, you can catch it on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So let me know if you have any thoughts. Otherwise, have yourselves an awesome day, okay? Take care, ladies.